Well, praise the Lord, everybody. All right. It's me, Darius. All right. This is going to be the one and only full video explanation. Take it or leave it. All right. If you've been under a rock someplace, apparently I am feuding with our dear lovely Tabitha Brown. Apparently I am envious, and apparently I am jealous of Tabitha Brown, and to the point where I have called her a fool and apparently have upset the entire internet population. Now, it is my understanding that Tabitha is not upset. It is my understanding that I am not upset. It is my understanding that it is the people who are now upset. So I have to address, I guess, the people. Now, I don't know. There's a lot of rumors, a lot of conversation about, me running away and me hiding. I don't know where y'all get this information from. Then somebody said that apparently I was in jail because of a cookbook or something. I can't even no more. As much as I would like to chase rumors and do all that stuff, I recognize that being a person of, nominal success of some sort and having some sort of platform, that means that the people are going to have something to say about your opinion, or especially if it runs counter to what they think or whatever the case may be. So, we have these conversations. If you're new to me, hey, what's up? I'm a live stream king, meaning I live stream several times a day. My platform of preference used to be a place called Periscope, but now it's Instagram Live. And this is the place where I sort of brand myself so that my community feels that they know what's going on. And, it's a place for us to get down and dirty and just have conversation. Every once in a while that funnels its way over to Facebook, where I do have the largest audience on Facebook. 1.6 million people follow on Facebook. And so I guess if I had to trace this whole thing back to where this started, I flew in from Los Angeles, right? I had a day off, and I said, you know what I'll do? I'm gonna cook live. So I go to the supermarket, the HEB, and I'm HEB live. I do this live on Facebook, right? Because I'm also monetized, and people like to see what I'm buying. So we were having, shopping and talking, and just like you on the phone with your girlfriends, that's how I be on the phone with y'all, talking to y'all. And a question comes up. This is not uncommon. And one of the questions that came up was specifically about my thoughts on Tabitha Brown, right? And like the new air fryer products. And I'm sure the person who asked the question didn't mean any harm by it. But knowing that I also manufacture my own air fryers and sell my own air fryers from my warehouse, I'm assuming that's where the question came from. Just a point of knowledge, right? Fine. So here I am, child, at my virtual kitchen table, talking to my people, having a conversation. And so I'm also openly gay. If you watched any of my restaurant reviews, you know this, right? I tend to use colorful language that is germane to mostly the LGBTQ experience, right? IA plus, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll refer to something as a she, right? You've heard me do this all the time. She this, she that, her, it could be, I don't know, a piece of fried chicken. I will refer to it as a she. Another thing that I often say is the word fool. I say it is in my everyday vernacular, right? Let's say you walk outside and it's cold outside. Oh, the weather's a fool, right? Oh, there's so much sun in my eye. Oh, the sun's a fool, right? Oh, this chicken needs more salt. This chicken is a fool, right? There you go. So people said that I called Tabitha Brown a fool. And I'm thinking to myself, because at first when they said it, I'm like, well, did I? Or what reason would I have had to call her a fool? I don't know the woman. We don't have a conversation. So how could I have just come up and called her a fool? So I had to go back and watch the video. And I'm like, oh, I was responding to a question about brand deals. And that's where the term came up from. So that's all there was. right? That's what the conversation was. But I'll go a step further and kind of tell you sort of what I meant by having this type of conversation. So here's what I meant by having this kind of a conversation, right? So I didn't even go back and rewatch what I had originally said in its completion because I know where my thought was coming from. Also, before I tell you what I meant, people go, did you see so-and-so's response? Did you see Tab's response? I said, no, I didn't see her response. First of all, I don't follow Tabitha Brown. I have nothing against Tabitha Brown at all. But I know I wouldn't have said anything, bad about the woman. So no, I'm not interested in a response because I never said anything to be rude or mean to begin with, right? What I was doing was having a conversation in my community with my people, and y'all took a soundbite and blew it up to more than what it had to be. So let's dig a little deeper. Let's take this opportunity and go a little deeper, and I will expound upon what I meant. So I do not know the specifics of whatever brand deal Tabitha Brown has. Don't know, don't even care. It's not even relevant to the conversation. What I do know is that if said person would have taken the idea to create products, the idea to put products on the market, coupled with what I know to be true about e-commerce, coupled with what I know to be true about converting sales on social media, she would have made more money. Now that's what I said, right? If a person owns the entire process, not just uses their name, they would make more money. Now, who is even to say that this is what Tabitha Brown wants to do, right? Tabitha Brown may not be interested in owning her own Shopify store and pushing her own product across she may be perfectly fine with what she's doing. And if she's perfectly fine with that, there's no problem with this, right? All I'm saying, and all I said to the person who asked, was that you could have generated a lot more money. Now, what I did was I created a company and some examples. Now, I did create Tab's company. We're going to call this the Very Good Company LLC as a point of illustration. And let's just say you had a conversation with, the team and the people and whoever else, and you say, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to come up with 5 products, really 10. But we're going to do 5 major products and 5 minor products. This is going to be our product suite. I imagine this is what any company does if they say they want to get into the business of manufacturing products. You say, okay, what do we want our products to look like? So you do 5 major, 5 minor. Why 5 major? Because you can make a lot of money off the major products. Why 5 minor? Because everybody doesn't have major money, right? And so you don't want to leave anybody out who may want to support your brand. So we create 5 products that are major. I called it a pressure cooker, a juicer, air fryer, a stand mixer, and a blender. Let's sell those for $65 a piece, right? Most you're gonna spend is $65 a product, okay? And on the minors, I said, oh, let's call it, I don't know, let's do a seasoning blend for $29. We'll do, I don't know, a 5-pack seasoning blend for $29. We'll do 3 cookbooks, right? And then we'll do a kitchen towel set for $29. Everybody got $29 if you want to support. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. Now, I don't know how many followers she has. I think somebody said in the comments she has in excess of 4 million followers. Great. You have in excess of 4 million followers, not a big deal here. But she does have likability. She does have viral content ability. So the reach is beyond 4 million people. She's a household name. You and I both know this. So what I said was, let's figure out a number that's manageable in terms of the number of orders. Let's just call it something. Let's call it 500,000. Is it possible for the Very Good Company, led by Tabitha Brown, to generate 500,000 orders? It's easy, right? Yeah, absolutely. And we're calling this 500,000 in the course of a full year, so a 12-month rolling period, right? Okay, so the people who are going to support you will do so at your launch, right? Because you have different tiers of people. If you're building a business or you're building a brand or you're selling on social media, you have core support. Doesn't matter what you do. I have a new cell phone I'm offering. Cool, Darius, I trust you, I know you, I like you, I want it, I'm buying it, no big deal. Then you have some people that have like sort of, they support, but they're sort of second level, second tier support. And what I mean by that is they'll go, yeah, I will support you, but I'm not gonna jump the moment you say it's on sale. I might wait a little bit because it's not that important to me or whatever the case may be. And then you have the third level of people who will definitely support, but only with a discount. You know what I'm saying? Or after they've seen it 4, 5, 6, 9 times, then they'll support. So I'm taking those 3 tiers of people and putting them into this population of 500,000, knowing that on launch, if she does this right, which means she ramps up, right? This is coming, let's do stuff online, let's cook with it, let's show you what's coming, so that you gear people to be excited about it, then cool, we can launch on launch day to 75,000 orders. Now, let's break out that 75,000 orders to average. Now remember, our full population is 500,000. I'm only focused on 75,000 from our launch. I'll deal with the other 425 in 1 second. If I break out that full 75,000 on my launch, and let's say half of these people buy high ticket items on average to a person, and half of them buy low ticket items to a person, you're looking at the average spend of $162.50 for my major products and $73 for my minor products. All right. If you do the math, and let's say you take 37,500 people buy my products and they spend $162.50 on my launch, that's $6.1 million. You take the other population, the other 37,000 that's going to support on my launch, but they're buying my minor products and they have an average spend of $73, that's $2.7 million. So on launch, I just generated $8.8 million in revenue in my business. On launch, I don't know anybody who's going to sneeze and poo-poo off 8.8 million to their bottom line. Now, I did say we had a population of 500,000 people, but I've only dealt with 75,000. Where are the other 425,000? They're going to be buying throughout the course of the year. You don't just launch and go away. You launch, you create content, you use the product, you do live streams, you do sales, you do Black Friday, you do Cyber Monday. So we're making up the remainder of this 500,000 throughout the course of the year. So if we take the same logic and we deal with the 425,000 people, half of those people are going to spend major, half will spend minor. My major spend is $108 per person. My minor spend is $48 a person. The reason I know that my major spend at $108 is doable is because you spend that with me. I just came off of doing 2 flash sales last month and made $250,000. Had the average order in the cart, $243. So to say that your average order is 108 from somebody who is more popular than me, more well-known than me, and has more followers than me is a complete understatement. So if we deal with the $108 spend times 212,000 people, that's $23 million over the course of a year. If I take the other half of the population and do their lower spend at $48, that's $10.2 million a year. So we end up with 6.1 and 2.7 at launch and 23 million and 10.2 during our annual on year 1. That's a total of $42 million. That's all I said. That's all I said. Is that their opportunity here to generate and this is year 1. Imagine what would happen if you double down and said, year 2, year 3, year 4, I'm going to advance from 10 products to 15, from 15 to 20. We can deal with all of the overhead, the capital costs, all of the processes. We can deal with that on the back end. I'm simply talking about what the revenue outlook looks like in a situation. And you're looking at a situation where you're 42 million your first year. If you just replicate what you did year 1 for the next 10 years, it's $500 million in sales. I'm not sure anybody who's going to sneeze at $1/2 of $1 billion in sales to their company. Yes, I understand that Tabitha is doing fine. I understand that Tabitha is rich. I understand that she has made a name for herself. 2 things could be true. I could still like somebody, don't have an issue with somebody, and still talk about them at the same time. I have no issue with this woman whatsoever. I was answering a question in my community about brand deals and about the deal with about Target. And sure, I don't know what her deal is with Target, but I do know people who've had products in Target. In fact, I know an ex-friend of mine who was under a contract in Target and needed to borrow $60,000 from me to fulfill their obligation, or else they would end up owing Target, right? I know people who were in Walmart who are now no longer in Walmart because of the bad deals that come with the big box stores, right? I know people, and again, this is different from putting your product in the store versus having them approach you to work with you. Completely understand that, right? I'm not negating the fact that this woman is doing amazingly well. This conversation is not about how well she's doing. The conversation is about what I feel like is a missed opportunity and what I feel like is missed revenue. My job every day is to look at the landscape and see what's missing and then develop something around it. So naturally, looking at this, I said to myself, gosh, and again, I get it. This ain't what she want to do. It's fine if this is not what she want to do. She don't have to do it, but it's not that we can't. It shouldn't be to the point that we can't have a conversation about something without y'all thinking that somebody is hating, right? You know, I'm blessed, and I mean extremely blessed to make multi-seven figures in my business year over year. You guys support me like nobody's business. When I come out with a new product, when I come out with something in the kitchen, a new cookbook, you guys are on top of it, buying them up left and right. I have nothing. And when I say nothing, I need you to hear me. I have no reason to be jealous of anybody when I recognize how well God's hand is over my life, right? I'm currently building a multi-million-dollar project 10,000 miles away. I don't have nothing to be hating on nobody about, but I'm a businessman, right? I'm an entrepreneur. So it's cool to look at examples of what we know to be true with certain things and just have conversation around it. And that's exactly what happened. But it seems like the people took everything completely out of context and wanted to just, I don't know, maybe it was me. Maybe you just don't like, I don't know. I'm going to say this, but I don't know if it's true. Maybe you just don't like me. So maybe the fact that it came out of my mouth is an absolute, you know, is an issue. But if you take the name away, take the Tabitha Brown name away from the conversation, the numbers and the data still range true, right? I don't know where this woman's products are on the shelf. They said, oh, he said that they put our stuff on the bottom shelf. I don't know that to be true. How would I know that, right? What I said was I had ex-friends who were in Target, and the complaint was that their products were on lower shelves. But you hear something, you think you hear what you heard, and then you take it out of context, or you hear a sound bite and you just run with it. So hopefully this breakdown makes a lot more sense for you. And again, too, I also need you to understand that this is intended for my community, right? If you are not a regular in my community, if you're not a regular in my live streams, yeah, you're going to misconstrue everything I've said because there's no historical context. So I would expect you to misunderstand, right? The people who are there, the hundreds of people or sometimes thousands who are there every night, every conversation, this conversation and this information was intended for that particular audience. So I don't make any apologies for what I said. I don't take back what I said. I didn't say anything rude. Didn't say anything negative. I don't have any issues with anybody. I wish the world for everybody. There's more than enough resources for everybody to be successful. Y'all took it and ran with it, so I'm gonna let you have it. All right, I'll let you have it. But ain't nothing stopping over here, girl. We're gonna keep trucking on, keep doing what we're doing, and you know my name stay in people's mouth, and then I stay in mess, and I'm sure this ain't the last time it's gonna happen. So until the next time there's some more mess, I'll talk to you soon, y'all. Goodbye.